Well, hello everybody. It's time for Group 4 Championship. We're into the, I guess I'd call it fall season. First race, Spa, Francorchamps, I believe. So yeah, we've got 22. I see it's only 21 at the moment. 21 racers today for Group 4 eSeniors Championship. Hello, I am Mike Molesky. I'll be doing the broadcast today. I'm thinking at the same time here because I got to put a few things up on the screen there. Get the seniors logo up. I assume that you can hear me talk. I'll put that on the chat. Just hold on for a second here. Should be okay. I'm looking at everything here, so yeah. Give me a little note on the chat if the sounds aren't very good. We're just still in the last few minutes of practice here. And since I'm doing this alone today, I'm hoping to catch all the, I'll be able to catch any kind of problems we have or any kind of collisions, but that's a little bit tough when you're only one person. Lap times, just so everybody knows, I won't give you a hint as to who. Well, you could see who's on the top of the leaderboard there. It's Saunders, and that time was 2:32, flat almost. Too bad I can't put those times up there. All right, we're into the free waiting time here, and qualifying for real will start right there. So I'm just going to leave this screen up here for now. Change to see some other liveries maybe. Nope, there's I'll just keep it going in the pits here. I'm hoping to do a grid walk if I can. I'm going to try that for the first time today. Oh, there's a nice livery from Derek. Porsche. What's Mark got for a livery? Ooh, he's got a pretty fancy Audi. So Spa, GT4. As the people were saying in the chat before the race, there are lots of different manufacturers here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 Genettas, Aston Martins at the top of the leaderboard. Nope, that's what I'm saying. McLarens. One BMW, a few AMGs, an Alpine, and a bunch of Porsches. So that should be fun to watch. But the McLaren seem to have gotten the pace. They're the only ones that are in the 232s. So, first race of the year for GT4. I'm not racing in this league. I don't think, maybe once in a while I'll try if Mark will let me in for a race here and there. But this winter I will be playing softball on Thursdays. So I may or may not be able to stream these races. We'll see if somebody else steps up to the plate and tries to stream them religiously every week.
Green light, green light.
There we go. I guess we're going to start qualifying here now. There's Mark going out. Cockpit view. A little bit loud. I'm hoping the voices the game sound is not too loud. Since Mark's out first, we'll follow him along. We'll do a helicam here. Mark in his first lap. Is that right behind him? It looks like Derek's bird is right behind him. So, take a quick peek here at my voice levels. Yeah, my voice levels are good, I think. Turn the game level down slightly. Take a quick peek what the game level is on cockpit view. Yeah, it should be okay voice levels. I like hearing a little bit of the sound. You know, you guys know I like my cockpit views. But we'll see how this goes. So everybody's doing their outlap here. I haven't tried the GT4s on this track. I know Mark was mentioning in the chat just before the race that Track limits are going to come into it quite a bit. I guess that's the GT4s are a little bit more difficult to handle when you're pushing it in terms of understeer, and I know the braking is not quite as good, so we'll see how that goes. Mark is just getting around to finishing his outlap. Oh, wait a sec, here we let's see, I'm not on the right screen in the view, I don't think. There we go, that's a better view. Got a little bit of the track map on here now. So Mark's coming up to his start-finish line in the last chicane. I even became a grid announcer here today, and I've got the corner names here. Maybe put them up. Okay, here we go for Mark's first lap. He is, he's leading the pack, so he'll be posting the first time to beat. Let's see how he does. Just follow him along in the cockpit. He's approaching the exciting Eau Rouge. Let's see if he is able to do it flat out. No, have to hold on. Oh, and he downshifted. And he don't think he's going to have a time here. Take a look and see if I can see that on my director screen, whether that's going to post as a time. I don't know if it does. It will. It shows red, so I don't think it will. Only guys, Derek and let's go to Derek. Well, let's watch Mark. Let's watch Mark. No, we'll go to Derek. Derek's posting a time. Oops, sorry. Derek is posting a time. So let's go. That's Derek here. He's still got a valid time going. That's Mark up ahead there in the actually neon. Not sure what that color is. Some sort of red. Derek's in a Porsche. Guys, I just have to touch my mouse over here. There we go. And Derek's still got a time going. Derek and Laszlo are right behind him. Both got valid laps. Come through here and that little. That lot is the name of the corner. Flat out. Fourth gear, fifth gear. Should get into sixth gear before this corner. And GT3s, you can take this corner flat out. I'm not so sure on a GT4, and he's in a Porsche. You know, hit the lay off a little bit. Yeah, its tires are complaining a little bit. Now we're going to go through the chicane. Got it going. He's at 2:26 at the moment. And let's see what he's going to post for a time. 2:35.12. But Derek's got the first time. And Mark's who the next guys are. Mr. Christopher is all right, Mr. Throwbridge put in a better time at 2:33. Throwbridge should be at the top of the leaderboard. And Saunders just posted the best time, 2:31. That is an excellent time. He was sandbagging earlier. Nobody was in the 2:31s. So Saunders in a McLaren has got a couple of seconds on everybody else right now. Branko is next. He is not improving. Saunders, unbelievably, is actually, let's go with him. Well, Saunders, we're with him at the moment. Yeah, he's actually improving on his time. And he's He's up a third of a second still. Gonna run into a little bit of traffic there with Jeremy ahead of him. That might have an effect. He's up a whole half second at a certain point. And let's see who else has got a time going here. So Branko is a 2:33 flat, and Throwbridge is 2:33.5. Next one down is Eric Dult at 2:34.6. So let's see who's got an improvement going on their laps right now. Derek's actually got another second off his time at the moment, but that will put him up into probably fifth right now. But Chris Bourne put in a 2:32.5. Nice one, and his next lap is still improving. And Branko has got another good lap going. He's got a half a second up on his current 2:33 flat, which would bring him pretty close to second place. So right now Branko's the only one in the top 5 who's improving. Let's just run down the list here to see some notable names. Derek Bird just bopped into 5th place. And on the bubble, Jeremy is in the pits right now, but he's in 10th place at 2:35. Pedersen, 2:34.7. And let's see who's improving. Branko is actually the only guy improving right now. He's up by a quarter second on his lap, or his best time, I should say, and he just went too wide and lost his lap. So that does that one. Let's see who else has got a good lap going here. Oh, Mark's got a good lap going, actually. Mark is up almost 7/10 of a second on his 8th place. And if he keeps that one going, he should jump into at least 6th or maybe 5th. Can't do the math that fast. And if you're watching on the leaderboard, let me take a quick peek at the stream. Stream's looking okay. I'm gonna just write down here how's the sound level. And how's Mark doing here? Mark is still 7/10 of a second up. Where is he not? He's about halfway through his lap. His Audi. He is only one of 2 Audis on the track today. Goes through the sweeping corner. That's the long. I'm trying to think of what that complex's name is. Bruxelles, maybe? No, that is Campus. This is an extremely important corner in terms of maintaining your speed. There's a long straight here. Good exit, gets you some good times. Mark's lost a quarter second on his best time. He's only up by half a second now, and he is maintaining that. Let's see if he can maintain it. It's usually pretty easy to maintain your lap time through here. Oh no, he lost it on the corner. He went wide. Now he's pissed. He's probably gonna go to the we have a new leader here. Peter's leading with a Ginetta at 2:31.8. Great time for a Ginetta. Saunders is now in 2nd place at 2:31.9, but he's got a great lap going. But so is Peter. They both got a half a second up on their times. So we'll follow Peter for a little while. He's further down in the further into his lap, and then I'll jump to Saunders. Number 10. Let's just see where number 10 is on the. I can't really find him on the track, but. Oh, lots of traffic. Everybody got out of the way for Peter. The seas parted. He kept his lap going. He lost a little bit. He's only a 10th up, and he's losing time. Don't know if he's going to make a better time now. He's almost back to his original lap time, so he's not going to improve. Saunders. Oh, Saunders just jumped into 1st place with 2:31.4. And Branko jumped into 2nd place with 2:31.49. So we've got 8/100ths of a second separating the 2 top guys. We've got 8 minutes left in qualifying. So Branko is going to go for pole here. He's still He's still he's still trying. He's got his he's flat on his best lap. Saunders is in the pit, so he might be just sitting waiting because I don't think well, with 8 minutes left, it's barely time to warm up your tires. The top three here: Saunders, Bijak, and Peter Wolfsheimer. Now Branko is flat on his best time. He doesn't need very much. He only needs 1/100th of a second-ish. Sorry, 8/100ths of a second. He's up actually right now by 8/100ths of a second. So this is a pole-setting lap. Let's just see if he can hang on to it. Double yellow coming up ahead. Just lost his 8/100ths. He's flat on his lap time at 2:31 and a half. Let's see if he can keep going. He doesn't need very much. I don't think you can tell in the game how far behind you are. Right now he's gained a 2/10 of a second there, so that's plenty of time to go into pole. He can hang on to it. He's wavering between 2/10 of a second and 1/10 of a second up. So if he can maintain this pace, which he should be able to if he gets a good exit here. I almost went out of track limits there and he lost his 2/10. He's flat at the same time here. Needs to make up about 6/100ths to be on pole. This is pretty exciting in terms of pole position. I see Saunders is back out on the track too. He is 9/10, 1/10 of a second up. If he maintains this through the chicane, he will go into pole position. Let's see how he does. But a little wide. And you gotta maintain it through here. He's gonna do it. He is gonna do it. He's up by 2/10 of a second. Oh, he lost it just on the exit. And he did not make it. He stays in second place, just barely. That last chicane and his exit just cost him a little bit. Wow. I was watching the times, so it's pretty exciting for me. Let's see who's got a good time going here. We're only 6 minutes left. Mark is improving on his time quite a bit. He is in 10th place. And he is up 7/10 of a second on his best lap of 2:34.2. And Howells in 9th place is 2:33.8. So he has to gain about a half a second here to jump up to 9th place. He's got that right now. He's got maybe a third of the lap left. Let's see how he does. I'm staying in on the, maybe watch a TV cam here, or this one here. Watch this view for a while. Mark's got a good lap going. He's 6/10 up at the moment on his best lap, so that'll jump him into 9th place. Let's see how this is going on. Saunders is out on track. Branko is in the pits. Saunders is just matching his best lap. Chris Bourne in 4th place is improving on his time by 2/10, but that won't get him into 3rd place on the podium. Let's see how Mark's doing here. Mark's got 6/10 of a second up. That should just about get him into 9th place. Owls is on track, but not currently lapping. I'm not sure why he's not getting a time there, but so here we go. Let's see how Mark does. And Mark jumped into 6th place. Oh, I did my math wrong. Nice job, Mark, on that lap. All right. So Chris Bourne, he is in his usual fluorescent, what color would you call that? Magenta, probably. Not fluorescent, but metallic. He is up a third of a second on his best lap, which would put him pretty close to the 3rd. So if he can maintain this, he might jump into 3rd. And right behind him, if I can find him, is nope. Chris Bourne pass. I jumped to Laszlo. Chris Bourne here, right a sec. He's just coming up to his lap here now. Sorry, 10th of a second. He's up by 4/100ths. Not 4/100ths, 4/10 of a second. So he jumped into 4th place. And Laszlo is up on his lap time. He's just starting his lap. He needs about a quarter of a second to jump into third place, but he just went wide because he lost his lap time. I wasn't watching the screen, but his lap time went red over here. Saunders is trying to improve on his best time. Very, very close here. Branko is in the pits, but he is 8/100ths of a second off pole. Peter Wolfstenner, I cannot pronounce that name, but I'm hoping I'm doing it a little bit of justice here. He is in third place, bettering his lap time. Just watch him for a bit. But he needs a third of a second to jump into second place, and he is currently 10th of a second up, so he needs a little bit more, although he just lost his lap. He just went wide there coming out of Eau Rouge. So that's that. Let's see who else. I'm going to go down the ladder here a little bit to see who's got a good lap time going. Mr. Status. Let's see what his first name is. Dimitri just lost his time. Yeah, he stopped. Let's see here. Mr. Evans. I'm not sure what his first name is. It's Trevor Evans. Trevor is just matching his lap time. Mr. Matt Canson. He is up a half a second on his lap time. That should bring him into at least a couple of spots. Make sure I'm not missing anything at the top of the leaderboard here. Terry Throwbridge has got something going. I'll just watch him a little bit. Just give Map a little bit of time here on the screen. But Terry's got a great lap time going. He is in 7th place, and he will jump up to at least 6th, but he may jump a couple more. Let's just follow him. He is up 4/10ths of a second on a 2:33.5. That would put him into 5th place, I believe, if he can hang on. Let's just watch him in his McLaren. McLarens are doing well here. Of the top, all the McLarens are in the top 10. Terry's 4/10ths up on his lap. Maybe we'll go into the cockpit here and see how hard he's working this. He's coming up to the last chicane. Let's see if he can hang on. Oh, he lost it somewhere. I wasn't watching his board, though. He lost it coming. Oh, he just regained it back. He's 4/10ths up. 4/10ths, 2/10ths. Oh, he's going to go up a couple of spots. There he's into 6th place. So on that last, seems to me he lost something on the long straight and then regained it. Mr. Saunders is actually out on track, and he is on his best lap time. He's improving it slightly at the moment, but let's see if anybody else is going to. Terry's got some time left in his lap. We're still on watching him there. He is up a 10th of a second. Okay, so qualifying. This is the last lap for everyone. Let's see who's got some really good times going. Mr. Morse, Hugh, I believe it is. He's got the best improvement going. He's a 6/10ths of a second up. That will bring him into 19th, from 19th to about 16th or better. In the top 5, nobody is improving enough to better their spots. So let's just see if. Nope, he's locked out. Everybody stopped. Oh. Who's on lap? Mr. Weston. He is on a Chevy. Look at that. He is improving by a second. That will put him into at least 20th. Maybe 18th. So let's just watch him. Let's put it on the cockpit. Sound of that Chevy engine. He's improving by a second. Great last lap. Tires are nicely warmed up. lost to Weston's first name there. Ricard. Or if he goes by Rick. He has got a 2.5 seconds up on his time. He is going to improve quite a bit. It's always nice to see somebody in his last lap get a better time. In 15th place, Mr. Canson is also improving a little bit. Oh, he just lost it. Somewhere. But Ricard here is doing marvelously. A 1.5 seconds up on his time. I'm just going to take a quick peek here to see what that'll get him. 35.1. Oh, he will jump up quite a few spots. He might be in the 14th type of range, if I'm doing my math correctly. He's still a 1.5 seconds up. 1.4. If he can hold it through this chicane. He's maintaining it. There we go. Get a good exit. Lost a tiny bit, but he's at a 1.3, 1.2. This should bring him into about 16th, 17th. Oh, only up to 20th. I guess my math was wrong. So he improved by 20th. So that's pretty good. All right. We will now jump into so there is your leaderboard. I'm going to attempt. I think this is why Mark jumps into an intro session. Let me see what we've got going here on the chat. Hello everybody. Hi Stefan. How are you doing? Uwe's on. And we just want to see how the volumes are going. Nobody's complaining, so I guess it's good. Mr. Peterson. Okay, so I'm just going to wait until, yes, there we go. Going to attempt to do a, there's some annoying things on the screen over there. Take a look. I forgot to knock off the back screen here. Intro screen, intro video still running in the background. Yeah, it's a little bit better, isn't it? Yeah. I am going to attempt to do a track walk if I can. I don't know if the it takes a while for the server to reset. I'll go down the leaderboard here, so and call times at the same time. May do a track walk without naming everybody, just to show all the liveries. So anyway, Saunders is 231.4. Branko Bizak is at 231.4 also. They're 231.415 was the pole position. Number 2, Bizak is 231.49, so 8/100ths of a second. Peter is 231.85, so not very far behind. I'm not going to read the rest of the times. 232 for Nemeth. Bourne is 232.2. Sorry, Nemeth was 231.1. Bourne is 232.2. Throwbridge was 233.9. Sorry, 233.4. Mark Pocock is 233.45. Derek is 233.5. Here we go. Now we can do the walk at some point. Well, let me try doing this walk here. We got a minute. Free cam. Go too fast. Sorry, you guys have to watch this, but hey, I'm not. Slow down. Okay, let's just do a walk through all the beautiful liveries. It's Chris Bourne, I know, on the left. That's Mark, I know, on the left. There's a Janetta Porsche, the only BMW. There's the first Merc. Nice liveries. I think we got them all. There's one Chevy. I don't know if we have that livery. It's a little bit. There's the second Chevy, Merc. And the last Chevy at the back. So let's just jump back into this. I'm going to get myself ready for what we to look at here. We got 49 seconds before the start. Put up the tower. Can't wait for Mark to finish his software so I can get a tower with some the top of the tower with some times on it. Yes, I noticed Rob on the chat line. I get to get the top of the screen. There was something going on in the background. I think I got rid of that. Looks very good. Point. So I'm going to attempt to get all that first corner going. Sure, I've got everything else turned off here in terms of volume. Yes, I think I do. And everybody's jumping on to start their engines. Let me get ready for the start here. I am going to jump to. I'm going to do a helicam, I believe. It's going to look kind of funny at the start. Well, let me just start with there, and then I'll go to helicam once they start moving. There we go. It's kind of a funny helicam. It's right over the top, right there, but they will spread out, I think, a little bit once we get to the. There we go. I will start it about here on the 6th position with, we're on board with our focusing on throw bridge, and I will just jump back into the field as we go through exciting spots like Eau Rouge and then the first chicane. There we go. Board with the 6th position on throw bridge. There goes their green flag, here we go. Rouge shouldn't be too much of a problem. Everybody's taking it easy. Be on board with Jeremy. Everybody's good here so far. Everybody's good here so far. Back of the pack's fine. Let's go up the front. Oh, there's somebody off. Can't tell who that is. But he's back on. He probably got a little bit of a problem. I believe that is Chris. That's Mark weaving in and out. If I'm not mistaken. Going back a little bit further. Everybody looks like they're going through here okay. A little bit further. Oh, there's somebody off near the tail end, about the third from the last. So that's one problem. That was Shannon. I don't believe he got touched, but he lost it there. All right, so here we are with Bourne. And let's go through the leaderboard here. Saunders is already up a little bit by a second. Branco next. I'm going to go to cockpits here, see how far ahead they are. Peter is just behind Branco. Laszlo, everybody's spreading out just slightly. There's Chris. And Mark. Derek Bird. Eric. Even Howells. Not seeing any problems further down the pipe here. Barry Throwbridge. So we're spreading out a little bit here. And I'm just going to leave it there. Derek's probably got the closest battle. I'm going to try a few more TV cams here today, just to get a different perspective. I don't know if I like that perspective too much. Let's try the other one. TV, that is a bit better. We are following along here with Derek. You can see that up on the left-hand side. Now, if you are following the board here, tower, the silver or white car numbers are Group 1, and Saunders is showing as a Group 2 in gray, but he is not a Group 2, he's a Group 1. And the gray is the Group 2. So the leading Group 2 driver is Jeremy at 13th spot. It looked like we had some things going on. Okay, so anyway, let me get back here to the track racing time. Chris is probably the closest guy. He goes through Eau Rouge. Nicely done. Always fun to watch people go through Eau Rouge. It's a little bit of a nail biter in terms of when you're driving, but certainly fun to watch when you're following along on the race. Laszlo's probably the closest guy to in the top 10 here. He's 0.2 of a second down. And we will watch the race in terms of Group 1 versus Group 2. And I'll be showing that as we go along, just to have like a race within a race. And just to give you an indication, Saunders is up by a second and a half on Branko Bizak, and Branko is up a second on Peter. And Peter's right ahead of us here in the lime green or yellow type car. It's a Ginetta, so he's doing great in the Ginetta. It'll be interesting to see if the Ginettas can maintain their. Peter can maintain his. Well, voice is not very good here. I forgot the mic. Mic was way off here. Sorry, guys. Should have known that. The voice should be a lot better now. Somebody should have mentioned that on the screen. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch the Ginettas on the straights to see if they can maintain a lead like Peter has at this point. He's got a second and a half on Laszlo. Let's see if he can maintain that going through the high-speed parts. Going down the bladder here, Chris is not that far behind this pairing. And further down, how is Jeremy doing? Jeremy is the leading Group 2 guy, and he has a lead. Next one would be Garland. Garland is a couple seconds behind. Here's Garland here. He's not that far behind, I believe. He's not that far behind at all. So we'll have to be watching this one. Garland and Jeremy is going to be a race for the Group 2 guys. Back at the top, let's just go through the top 5 guys here. Here's Saunders, and Branko is behind him, and that's his lead. Peter has also got about the same kind of gap to make up to Branko. Laszlo's not that far behind Peter, however. Chris Bourne. There's Mark. Mark can see them. He's another second. He's actually 3 seconds behind Chris. Here's Derek on Mark. And here is Eric. He's not that far behind Derek. Trowbridge is a second behind them. And the top 10 is Stephen Howells makes up the top 10. And that's going through the, let's go through the Group 2 guys. Ooh, wait a sec. Christopher, what am I watching here? Christopher's trying to get through the Howells. Let's go to the helicam. He's got it now, I think. Got the inside track on the curve. Yes, he's going to make that stick. Is he going to make it stick? Yes, he is. So I've made that pass on Howells. So that was a fairly high-speed part of the track. We made it on the Ginetta. The Porsche made some ground on the Ginetta. A quick peek at the, how are we doing here? Eau Rouge. Looking at the stream, nobody complaining about anything, just talking amongst themselves. That's good. So yes, people making comments about Radeon and Eau Rouge. I'm not sure which is which. I think Radeon is first and Eau Rouge is the second kink. Peter's made up some time here on, let's go to the cockpit, on Branko. There's only a second down. So the top 3 are pretty close together. These GT4 cars, we should have some interesting racing because they're not, they're pretty well matched in terms of speed, braking distance, etc., except for maybe the Ginetta, possibly. A Ginetta race was quite close. Everybody with the same cars. Oh, Chris Bourne's making a point, very close to Laszlo here. I'll follow this one along a little bit. Let's see if I can find a good TV cam. There we go. He is just right. Ooh, what happened there? Well, it's a TV cam that does that, so. Even though we're following what Chris, it jumps around. Coming through the chicane. He is all over his trunk. That is a Merc on a McLaren. Ooh, he's all over, back and forth, trying to make a move. Let's go into the cockpit for a bit. The Merc, be interesting to see the handling here. As you guys know, auto sport-wise, I'm not the best expert, but I do know that Spa setup is extremely important. You make some strategic decisions on Spa, how much wing to use, because fast areas of the track in terms of long straights where you can make up some time if you have less wing, but then you're going to suffer on this part of the track, for example, where you need some high grip. So that's the decision people make. If they can handle less downforce through these sections, they certainly gain in the long straights and the faster portions of this track. So highly strategic setup for Spa, and you need to know your own driving style to decide what you're going to have to do. So let's see how the Merc does going through here. This is high speed area. The McLaren seemed to have pulled away a little bit. This is the best battle right now, except for Terry a little bit further back. Let's just follow this through in terms of the cornering coming out of this corner to see if Chris gets a better exit. And about the same. The next guy up here, Throwbridge on Eric, and Eric's not that far behind. I'm not sure who's ahead of Eric. That is Bird, yeah. I thought maybe that might have been somebody that had an issue. I haven't seen any incidents yet. I may have missed them, but certainly not in the top 20. So this is a good battle here also. See how they both do throw rouge. Oh, Eric had to touch the brakes a little bit there with his BMW. And let's see how the McLaren does on the straight. He's gaining slightly, I think. Let's see what the time says. Yeah, he's 0.2 seconds. Excuse me. Coming through the chicane. And this is just what I believe it's called Bruxelles. Bruxelles, I think it's pronounced. I don't know. I'm Belgian. I know I'm francophone, so I would say Bruxelles in French. This is a great battle. Chris still has not got by Laszlo, so we'll keep up with Terry here, and then I'm going to go down to see the Group 2 battles. Oh, Terry got a good exit there. He really pumped the throttle going through this corner. He's really pumping the throttle. He is right behind Eric. Let's see how the McLaren does when it gets a bit of a straight going here, coming around this corner. He gets a good exit. Looks like he's going to. And the McLaren should have some good speed on this straight. Let's see how he does. At the moment, looks like the BMW got a better exit. Got a 1/10 of a second now on Terry. But Terry's dropped that down through the high speed part. Eric had to touch the brakes. I'm not sure if Terry has to hit the brakes. I know in the GT3s you can take that flat out. I'm not so sure on the GT4s whether that corner you can take flat out. All right, we followed the whole lap here. We're gonna take another peek. Chris is still behind Laszlo here. Maybe we'll follow them through Eau Rouge, and then I'm going to flip down to the back of the pack and see what's going on down there. And Chris and Laszlo do a great job at Eau Rouge of maintaining the gap there. Okay, let's drop down. Terry is still right on Eric's tail, but let's drop down a little bit here. Jeremy, he is leading the Group 2 drivers, and Andreas, I think it's Andreas Peterson. That's Andreas, his lead over Andreas. And the next Group 2 driver is Melvin. He's just behind. And the third place in Group 2 would be, that is Benny. So Benny needs to get ahead of a couple of people before he can get at Jeremy. So Benny is, let me just do some math here. He's about 4 seconds behind Jeremy at this point. Let's just find some, there's an exciting race here with Torrance, Savage, and Langlois for 20, 21st, and 20th place. What do we got here? That's a Chevy. Who's the top Chevy here? Top Chevy is Crawford, who's a couple places up. And let's see Langlois here. Not Langlois, but Sauvage. That is Philippe. They have spread out a little bit. That's the 3 of them here. So this is a Chevy, an Audi, and an Alpine. Langlois is in an Alpine. And he is coming up on Crawford, I believe. Let's go ahead here to Langlois. Yes, he is coming up on Crawford in a Chevy. And Crawford, let's see what Mr. Crawford's first name is. Eric Crawford. Oh, no, sorry, Edward Crawford. So maybe that's Ed. I'll assume that that's Ed he goes by. But this is actually a pretty good little grouping. Oh, and Torrance is making a play here. It looks like he's got some pace on Sauvage. So he's desperately trying to get by. Oh, Sauvage went wide, but that didn't hurt him. I'm not sure where track limits here are. I don't see any penalties on anybody yet. Excuse me. Let's just see if Torrance can make it. Take a quick peek up at the top. Maintaining the same positions up there. I don't think anybody has passed anyone. Let's just follow this battle for a bit. 3 battles going on here. Sauvage making a move up there up front too. Sauvage is not very far behind Crawford. And Torrance, not Sauvage, but Langlois was not very far behind Torrance. Let's just watch them both go through Eau Rouge. Crawford went wide, had to hit the brake, so now Eric might just get him on the straight. He's got the momentum going because Crawford had to touch the brakes a little bit more than he wanted to, I'm sure. Looks like Langlois is going to get as much of a toe as he can, but not going to have enough. Let's just see how this one is going. But let's go to the heli-cam here. This is quite the grouping here, isn't it? Just shows you these GT4 cars, fun to drive, but not a lot of difference between them. It's very difficult to get more grip, less grip. Oh, look at this. It looks like he's going to make it. That is Langlois, I believe. And just behind them, those 2 are. So it looks like Langlois, I believe, got it. Yes, he did. Langlois is in the white car. So he got the pass. And let's just see if Torrance did not get up ahead of Sauvage. But he's still all over him. So Crawford just went a little bit wide there. Let's just keep up with this one because something is bound to happen. I'm going to go up here. This is a good battle here. Peterson on Jeremy. It's a Group 1 car. Andreas is a Group 1 driver. Is he going to get Jeremy here? Probably not. Not a great place to pass, but he is all over Jeremy's back end. Now, I wonder if this battle is going to affect the people coming up behind. Yes, it has. I believe Melvin. I'm not sure if Melvin is a Group 1 or a Group 2 guy. Melvin has caught up to these 2. And Benny, Group 2 driver, you was 3 seconds back. So this battle between Andreas and Jeremy is definitely affecting Jeremy's lead. over the other Group 2 guys. Let's take another peek up at the top here for you. Saunders is 4 seconds up on Branko right now, but Peter, let's watch this. Peter is only a second up on Branko, so we'll have to watch that battle for second place. Laszlo is 5 seconds back of Peter, but Chris is all over the back of Laszlo. And so in the interests of watching that, some of the high flyers here, we'll follow this one for a little while, and some other battles going on. Mark is in 6th place, but he is 9 seconds behind Chris here that we're watching. But Derek is right behind Mark. There's Derek. That's his lead over, or his gap over Mark. But let's just stay with Chris here. That is a pretty good battle. And for 3rd place, not very much separating these two for 3rd place either. So we'll just follow these two guys for a little bit. Mr. Warpslinger. I gotta have to get to know his name. He is always in the top 5. So, Peter, I know I'm myrtleizing your name, if that is a word. Chris is not passed. And going back to Peter, I love your German accent on the Discord channel, but and I really should learn how to pronounce your name with the correct accent. I had a lot of dealings with my former lifetime as a railroad person, a lot of dealings with one of your large national companies, Siemens. So spent a lot of time with some German fellows. Steve Howells is also in an interesting battle here with Mark, I believe, Christopher, of our TWS guys. And he is not far off from Eric. So this is another Janetta, the next Janetta in the crowd. Mr. Howells is doing very well with the Janetta. And some other battles, keeping an eye on things. Come out through. Oh, Christopher went over the curb there, and Stephen is getting some momentum because of that. So the gap is getting smaller and smaller. It's 0.7 of a second right now, but it's going to hold at that. So that's where the Janetta's top speed gets into it a little bit. And coming through these corners, the Janetta really can hold its own. And ahead of Christopher is a BMW, who also does well in this part of the track normally. We're going to follow this for a while. Christopher is taking a different line. Watch this from the helicam. Oh, he's definitely taking a different line. Let's see if he can make it stick. Christopher's in a Porsche. It's a totally different line. The BMW went wide, Eric went wide. Let's see if I can hit the TV cam here. Oh, it's a better sense of speed with the TV cam. All these three guys doing a great job. We're in the middle, following the middle guy here, Mark, I believe, yeah. Yeah, Mark, Christopher. His car looks a little beat up. I wonder if he was one of the, there's somebody who went off and hit the wall for a second, but Mark's really up Eric's tail here. If he's getting a draft at this speed, but he is just, there he goes, trying to get the inside. Didn't quite make it stick there. And the Janetta's all over Mark now. So this is quite the battle. Let's get on board with Steven here. Watch it from back here for a little bit. Check the chat line. Everything must be okay. Oh, did I miss something here? No, sorry. For a second there, I thought there was a change in position. I thought I was following the last guy here. I was following. Follow the last guy just to watch these lines through Eau Rouge. And it looks like Howells is playing with either traction control or his brake bias, because I saw his hand hit a button. He is, if there is a tow to be had, he should be getting it, but he's in the Ginetta, so the top speed struggles a little bit. He's going to try and get it through here. Inside or outside move, possibly. It's a long view. No, that didn't make any strides on the Porsche. Both the Porsche can take these corners quite well too. And let's just go up to the podium here. Peter is still trying to get by Branco. It's not going to take any mistake. Any mistake from Branco's and Peter will be all over him. Peter is a Ginetta sandwich between a couple of McLarens there. He has got a 7-second lead over Laszlo in 4th place. And Chris Bourne is at his lead over Laszlo. Let's get back to this little battle here for 9th and 10th place. Not sure where I'm getting his crew chief, probably. I've followed Terry for a while on Bird. Let's do that. And marks the car up ahead there. So this is actually a pretty good grouping. It's like Derek made up some time on Mark there. Or Mark lost a little bit. Oh, further down here. Oh, I'm going to do a replay on this. Let's go back 30 seconds. That is Peterson in the middle, and in front of him should be Jeremy in the yellow car. So Peterson trying just before the chicane to take the outside line. Jeremy, oh, he tried. Whew, we're still at it here. I only went by 15 seconds. Jeremy just lost his position right there. So I guess Peterson, let me go back 15 seconds again. On the straight, go to the TV cam. On the straight, oh, you got the inside line on Jeremy. That's how it was done. There we go. So they were neck and neck all the way up they were all the way up there. We're back to live now. They were all neck and neck all the way up the straight, and then Andreas got the inside line. Let's see if Peterson can pull away here. Peterson's a Group 2 guy. Still hasn't updated on the top leaderboard here, but Andreas is definitely ahead of Jeremy. So now, a check here to see if I can find out whether Melvin is a Group 2 guy or not. Yes, he is. So here we have now interesting. If you look at the tower, Jeremy is still in the lead, but he is 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th are all Group 2 position players. So let me just go down that now. Melvin is on, well, you can see his lead, or his gap, I should say, on Jeremy, 0.2 seconds. Benny, this is Benny. He is in 3rd place in Group 2. And Mr. Map Kenson is in 4th place. We got Hugh Morris, who's a Group 3 guy, and he's 6 seconds behind. So these 4 are battling for position in Group 2. So we're going to keep an eye on that one. Jeremy, I believe, won the Group 2 race within a race for the Ginetta, if I'm not mistaken. So Jeremy is Mr. Hotshot in Group 2 when he's racing with the big boys here in these open races with everybody in them. I'm just going to quickly go at the top here. Laszlo is trying to take a chunk out of Chris. He's got some momentum. Let's go to the helicam. Let's see if he's got the hop on him, I believe. Yes, he's going to make it. He's got the outside line. It's unless Chris undercuts him. No, he's not. So there, I caught that pass. Nicely done. So Laszlo moves into second place. Chris is not going to go down easy, I don't think. So this is a Merc against the McLaren. And the McLaren seem to be doing very well. It almost got the top 5. There's three McLarens. So we're going to watch that gap to see if Laszlo can pull away with that McLaren. Mark is in 6th place. You notice there he is 12 seconds behind, and he is still battling with Terry a little bit. Not a huge gap right now, just a second gap. So let me walk down the ladder here. Again, I haven't really I've seen any incidents between anybody. Everybody's, here is something happening. Go to the helicam. Peter is trying to pass Branko and does. It looks like Branko. I'm going to go back 30 seconds here and see what happened. So we're now replay. Peter is, I'm going to go into the cockpit. So let's see what happens to Branko. Whether he made a little mistake. Looks like just that Peter's got a lot. No, Peter just a great exit. And through this long, fast section, just got ahead of him. Nice. So we're back to live action here. And let's see if Peter pulls away from Branko. There's Branko. He's got a second lead on Branko already. Now Peter has 4 seconds to make up to Saunders. I'm just going to go down a little bit here and look at the best laps. Saunders has the fastest lap at 2:31.5, not very far off his qualifying speed. And Peter's at 2:32.4. And Branko's making a move here. Again, that Ginetta top speed tops out. So it's going to be an interesting battle from a manufacturer's point of view. Let's just watch this for a while and see if the Ginetta gets some gap going in the slower section of the track, which looks like he already did. He is 0.8 seconds right now. Let's just see what happens throughout the whole lap. Somebody has a drive-through. Mr. Stathis. He has got a drive-through. He's in 17th place. That is the first penalty that anybody has. So Branko lost a couple of tenths of a second in this section of the track. But let's see how he makes it up, if he makes it up in the faster section here. So right at this moment, he's actually 1.5 seconds behind Peter. It'd be very interesting to see from here on in the faster section whether he makes up some of that time. So exactly 1.5 seconds right now. So let's see if Peter got a little bit wide there. He got everything he could out of that corner. Let's see if the Aston Martin can make up some time in the faster section. At the moment he's not. He's 1.7 seconds behind. 1.6, making up a little bit. Excuse me. 1.5, made up 0.2 of a second. Not enough. Let's see how the exit, what their gap is on the exit. Branko is now 2 seconds behind. So note I'm going to jump here. Chris Bourne is attacking Laszlo still. Back to attacking Laszlo. Laszlo passed him a couple of laps back, you may remember. And Terry is now caught up to a Mark. So he passed. Eric must have had, well, no, Eric didn't have a problem. Eric and him were battling back and forth. Eric is now 14 seconds behind Terry. So he either had a problem or Terry made up a lot of time. And so that's one battle. And another one here. Howells, Christopher, and Eric are close by. I'm going to take a little peek down here at the Group 2 race. Melvin is right up Jeremy's trunk. Attempting a pass here almost. Let's see how he does in terms of the exit of the last corner, which is La Source. Jeremy got a great exit there and is pulling away. So in terms of Group 2, Canson is a little bit further back than these guys. He's a couple of seconds back. So this is definitely a Group 2 podium battle for 1 and 2. Let's go back to the top here. Closest one is Chris. Chris on Laszlo is the closest battle in the top 10 at the moment. Where is the... So, and Mark, Chris is 13 seconds ahead of Mark, but Mark and Throwbridge are fairly close together, so that's another battle in the top grouping. I gotta bring a cup of water to these races. My throat gets a little dry. Chris is all over Laszlo. Remember, Laszlo passed him 2 or 3 laps ago. How are we doing time-wise? 15 minutes left in the race. Tire wear might start entering into things here. Melvin is still on Jeremy's tail. Janetta really trying to get past this McLaren. Interesting battles, eh? This is a battle between a McLaren and a Janetta, and there's a Janetta up in, on the podium also. Very interesting. Chris, Mark, and Terry are battling quite a bit here. Terry must have either Mark made a mistake, or Terry gained a lot of time a little while ago, because he and Eric were quite close together in terms of a battle, and Eric has now dropped back by 12 seconds. Chris is trying very hard. Melvin, it may have passed. No, he hasn't. He went, let's just go back here to see what happened there. He was trying really hard, going to the cockpit, trying really hard to get by Jeremy. And he missed his braking point, went wide to the point where he went off track. He's going to let Jeremy go by, I am sure. What happened there? Go back to it. TV here. So yes, Jeremy is still there. Jeremy, he had to wait for Jeremy, but now he's now going to be under pressure from Map, because Map was gained a few seconds on that. Just a little bit behind here, we got a little bit of a battle going here. Mr. Morris, and that's Benny up ahead. Benny's a Group 2 driver. And Chris is making a move here, trying to make a move. We're going to stick with this one, I think, because it's so late in the race. Chris, I would imagine, is going to start pressing pretty hard to try to get into 4th place, and then he'll have an 8-second gap to make up to get the podium. So unless somebody makes a mistake up there, this is going to be 4th and 5th will be the biggest battle in the top 5. And the other battle going on, of course, is Terry and Mark. And for 9th and 8th, Christopher and Eric. So Chris is really the one that's making the biggest push. He just can't seem to get ahead of that Aston or McLaren with his powerful Mercedes. I just love, you gotta love the sound of that Mercedes though. Had a lot of guts to get really close behind on that on La Source. Let's just watch a TV rendition of Eau Rouge. I see the speed going through Eau Rouge. That's quite cool. Then straight-wise, looks like Laszlo got the better of that gap. And coming up here to La Source is Mark Christopher on Eric. And looks like Mark's got some. He has got some speed coming out of the corner. I don't know if he's going to try and pass at Eau Rouge. You see, he does not hit the brakes, whereas Eric does. So that should help him get some momentum going down the long straight. And it does. Let's see, the helicam here has a view. No, he's not going to have enough. Porsche didn't have enough guts to get through on the BMW. Even though the BMW had to tap his brakes. And Mark seemed to have gotten some speed on him and started to make up the gap, but then couldn't maintain it. Terry is very close to Mark at this point. So that's again McLaren on a different manufacturer and the Audi at this point. So I'm going to keep an eye on both these races here. Ooh, Mark got a little bit of a wobble. It's going to cost him some time, so we're going to go back to Terry here on the other Mark Pocock. Oh, Mark took a lot of curve there. So did Terry. These two guys have been racing each other for a long time. And Chris Bourne is still in the running there for 4th place. Let's just keep up with Terry. These two seem to have, well, Terry's got some momentum coming through this high speed part. Mark touched the brakes. I don't know if Terry had to or not, but he seemed to get a little unnerved by that. He's going to take a different line. We're 9 minutes left in the race here, so people are going to start pushing to get some additional points. Don't forget, this is our first league race, boys. These are for points. These are for big points. This is a big issue. You don't want to push so much that you're going to lose it, but lose in terms of get off track or touch somebody. But position is worth points here, so everybody is going to be trying pretty hard. Let's go back to the Group 2. Group 2 leads here. This is 3 guys are pushing. Oh, Jeremy went a little wide there. And he went a little wide again. I'm just going to go ahead here. Let's see if Melvin can make something out of that. The Janetta going to struggle on the high speed section. But let's see what kind of exit Melvin gets. That McLaren just came out of that corner. Jeremy did a great job coming out of that corner. Got a good exit. And the McLaren just pulling away slightly. See how they both do through the Eau Rouge. Oh no, Laszlo! Look at that on the leaderboard. Laszlo has a drive-through. Oh, that is a big. That is big. That is huge. So Chris will move into 4th place. So wow. Went a little wide on too many corners. Laszlo did. So that is a huge issue. That's going to cost him, that's a long drive-through, so that's going to cost him a lot of position. So let's just watch that later. He is in 4th place right now. Let's see how much that drive-through is going to cost him. He has got 4 laps to do it. I believe you have 4 laps to in the game to take that penalty. If he does not, I'm not sure what happens. I think he would probably get disqualified. Taking a quick peek here at the chat. I'm not following the chat too much. Can't see how many guys are in the chat right now. 11. Oh, 11 watching. My YouTube count's not working for some reason. Should be showing a YouTube count. Anyway, yeah, that drive-through is going to drop him down. Let's be interesting to see how far down he ends up going. So Melvin's having trouble getting by Jeremy. Mark Christopher. Ooh, on Eric. This is for 9th and 10th. This is a good battle. Ooh, there he goes. There's Helicam's going to make a pass. He just made that pass. Coming into the chicane. So Eric is going to be a little upset over that, I am sure. Oops. Let's just see if he hangs his emotions together here well and does not try to push too hard after getting past. It's always one of my comments. Well, that looks like Laszlo's on to the... There he goes. He goes into the pits. You just saw him on the right-hand side. So he's going to start dropping down the leaderboard. We'll see how he ends up. So Eric looks like he's losing a bit of time to Mark Christopher. So now the battle is here with Terry and Mark Pocock for 5th and 6th place. Up at the top, I'm just going to go quickly through. There is John Saunders lapping lap after lap. He's got a 4-second lead on Peter, who has he's got a 7-second lead on Peter, who's got a 4-second lead on Branko, who's got a 11-second lead on Chris Bourne. So all these guys are quite spread out. And Mark Pocock is 15 seconds behind Chris Bourne. So the top battle here in the top 10 is not in the top. No, the top 10 battle is actually Stephen Howells on Eric, but this one's close also. This is Eric. It's probably the closer than about the same amount. And for Group 2, we are still battling here. Here is the podium for Group 2. So we will watch that also quite closely. So 4 minutes left, about 2, maybe 3 laps. I hope these guys realize they are battling for Group 2 podium. It's 11th, 12th, and 13th. And how far is Benny? Benny is 4 seconds back on this group, so he's a little bit further back. But I hope these guys know. I'm sure Jeremy knows. He was in the chat and knows the right colors for the Group 2 and Group 3, or sorry, Group 1 tower. Oh, Map is got some momentum here. Let's just see. He's got the inside track. Oh, they're touching. A little bit of paint trading there. A little bit of a bump. Not sure if that's... Garland's going to come back. Oh, this is for position. So, and I'm sure they know this. Map has got the inside. Now, Melvin's got the inside. So, Map is going to make that stick. That'd be interesting to see whether that's... called a bump pass or not, because it looked like Melvin lost a little bit of momentum there when he got bumped. Let's see how Melvin reacts to losing a position, actually losing second place in the podium. A little bit of action going up here. Eric and Steve Howells is for position. This is 9th and 8th. And Terry and Mark are actually really good. So we're going to have a great finish here. I've got 3 races, or I've got 3 races for position to watch. Melvin is making a move. Don't forget, he just got past, so he's going to be really anxious to get that position back. He's got the inside. Let's see how he makes it coming on through the second part of the chicane. Is he going to make it stick? He's still got the inside on the next corner. Yes, he does. He's going to make it stick. Nice pass here. But Map is still going to press. Oh, yeah. Melvin's going to make it. Melvin makes it stick. That was a great little bit of racing there. Let's see how Eric is doing on Steven. And Throwbridge on Mark is... I did not hear what that comment was. That last lap? Well, that's he's got a little bit of a gap on to make up on Mark. but Eric is right behind Steven, and Melvin and Map are just battling away. He went off track slightly there. This is going to be a real battle right to the finish, I'm sure. Let's just hope that it's clean. And Jeremy's taking advantage of that. You can see him far up in the lead. They were close to each other at one point, not anymore. So Melvin's trying hard. Let's see if the Janetta. We got a great exit, the Janetta, but let's see if the Porsche has got the grunt to stay ahead. The Janetta just can't quite make up the difference in power. Let's go Helicam here because I believe they'll make a play at the chicane. Keeping an eye ahead there, and things are the same position as we were watching. I'm going to watch it through the chicane, and I'll jump ahead to those other two battles. Coming out of the last corner, things are going to stay the same. Let's go to Eric and Steven. Howells, this is through Eau Rouge. And Howells is, that's Christopher up ahead. So these guys, see if anybody makes a mistake. No mistakes are made. And let's go to Terry on Mark. But nobody made any mistakes. Everything is as it was. That's this one battle. Let's watch this next last corner. And now we'll watch Eric through this part section. These three guys are very close. If anybody makes a mistake here, it's going to cost them positions. And Melville on Map. Still a battle. Actually, there's another little battle going on behind here between Laszlo and Benny. Laszlo, of course, lost a ton of so he ended up going from 4th to 15th because of his drive-through. I'm going to leave that one alone. Oh, there's the leader. Has finished the race. So we have got John Saunders is our leader, our winner. And this is Peter coming up. He's just passed. Branco just going over the tail end. This is Chris. Chris coming through. And he is, Mark is coming through here on the last corners. And let's see if Terry is going to make a move here on the last couple of corners. He knows it's the last couple of corners. And is Mark going to be able to hang on? I think he is. Okay, let's go to the next bunch here. This is, so good job there. The first 6 guys have finished. So this is the next battle. Maybe we'll go in with Howells. Is he going to make a move on the last corner? Very close together. Everybody makes a mistake here. And this is the way it's going to finish. Christopher Howells and Eric Dant. Going back a little bit further now, let's talk about the Group 2 race. Oh, something happening here. This is the top 3 in Group 2. I think that is Melvin on the inside. Oh, they tapped, and I think Melvin is going to... Melvin lost a lot. So there you go. Risking it on the last corner cost Melvin quite a few places. And going back down, Laszlo. See if there's anything going on here. Derek and Eric Langlois. This is for 17th and 18th. Is Eric going to pull it through? Derek, I should say. No. And coming down the piece, Mr. Weston, Mr. Torrance, a bit further back in the track. Mr. Stathis has already gone into the pit. So that was the end of the race. Interesting, very interesting, guys. These guys are all finished. I'm not sure why they're still racing. Great race. Interesting Group 2. So let's go through. There is the tower that you see, the positioning for the race. And there are the gaps at the end. Great battles all around. And it was very clean. I didn't see too many incidents. Biggest event was a drive-through for Laszlo. that lost him a number of points. But otherwise, it was a pretty good race for. I'm sure Jeremy will be quite happy that it was a very clean start and a very clean race overall. The stewards won't have too much to do. Well, thank you for listening. I hope I did the race justice, and we'll see you next time.